Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and I'm here in West Bromwich, and today I'm going to take you along Claypit Lane. And Claypit Lane is significant because it contributed enormously to the wealth of West Bromwich town back in the mid 1850s, primarily because of its lots of coal shafts and coal mining and collieries that used to be on both sides of this particular road. And also it had the huge brick making company a bit further along the road. So but today you wouldn't know you wouldn't know that now, because we've got all houses built on both sides of the road. So anyway, we'll have a look and see what we can find as we have a walk along Claypit Lane. Just at the beginning of the of Claypit Lane, we've got the site of the original Bush Inn, which was George Derby began brewing on this site in 1871, and he became one of the most successful inns in West Bromwich. And his son built a brewery in Dunkirk Hall in Grits Green, and Derby's became the most successful brewers in the town, and at one time they owned over 100 pubs. The Dunkirk brewery closed in 1952, which was the last of the West Bromwich breweries to close. So brewery was one of those big industries in West Bromwich, and one of the other big industries without question was ironworks, foundries, and of course coal mining. That brings me to Claypit Lane, because Claypit Lane got its name from the brickworks. Before we go down, look, we can just take a look here. This is Wood Lane that goes to the left. You can see a few trees to the just ahead and to the right. That would have also been a brickworks. There was the Wood Lane brickworks over there, and just down here is Grits Green Road. So we've got Wood Lane to the left, Grits Green Road to the right, and the road that goes off to the left there is Brandon Way. Okay, then let's have a look down Claypit Lane. In the very early days of Claypit Lane, back in the mid 1800s, there'd be some terraced housing just here on the corner, and also there'd be some terraced housing right at the very top of this road, on the same side of the road on the corner. That was all really, in terms of housing, that was on this particular road. So, yeah, we've got a new road here that was created called Claypit Close. Now Claypit Close, if you go to the end of Claypit Close and just past those houses there was old coal shafts there. There was a lot of coal mining behind those houses at the bottom. Coal mining back in the 1700s was mainly open cast sort of stuff. They didn't have to dig very deeply for the coal, but it was only when the mid 1700s, 1800s, they started digging much deeper for the coal. A lot of the coal mines around here were very makeshift sort of mines. They weren't like a sophisticated type of mining operation, but all ahead of me here were all, again, beyond these houses here, there was all old coal shafts. Before any housing was built, there was lots of coal mining over there to the right. Hilton Street didn't exist back in the turn of the 20th century. I think this road was built around the mid 1920s, 1930s. It's Hilton Street, and there was all along here, all along this particular side of the road again was coal mining. The shafts probably went as deep as around about 60 feet. Nothing like some of the later mining, which would go, I don't know, 800-900 feet perhaps, but these was they weren't particularly deep. And the road here to the left is New Road, which obviously suggests that's what it is, a new road. And we can get a better view now of all this greenery ahead of me. Just where all this grass is here, these again was all coal shafts. A lot of mining operations were just around here where you see that white van, and in the distance there's like a constructed play area. Again, there was all mining over there, and as far as all the green trees and that in the distance, that was the brickworks. The brickworks where this particular road, Claypit Lane, got its name. And the brickworks stretched for quite a way. The discovery of beds of clay and marl were perfect for making bricks. And in its day, the Victoria Brickworks, which is what it was originally called, and Tile Company, were making around 500,000 bricks by 1898, which where they were working at their peak about that time. Their immediate competitors were another brickworks, which was over the other side, the Albion Brickwork Company. They were making slightly less bricks a week, but they were still making 200,000 to 300,000 a week by 1898. We're looking at a large mining area just ahead. Young Street, again, a particularly new road created in the 1930s. Looking at the houses up there, they're probably the original houses from the 30s. But all along this side, where I'm walking now, here to my left, there's a whole row of old terrace properties that would stretch right up to the very top of Claypit Lane. And they was built around about the 1920s. But I don't think there's anything left of any of the terrace properties along this particular side of the road now. We've got Livingwell Street, strange name. I'm not sure why it's called that, but that goes in a crescent shape and it skirts the side of the old brickworks. It was said that by about 1868 there was about 65 collieries still operating around West Bromwich. By 1873 it was down to 36. And by 1896 only 14 collieries were operating in West Bromwich. Brickworks as well, there were 7 brickworks apparently in West Bromwich as well. Mid to late 1800s. It was said by about 1921 there was only 3 brickworks left, 2 by 1924, and there was only 1 left operating in 1940, which was the Hall End Brickworks. The one that we're concentrating here on Claypit Lane opened in 1851, I believe, but it closed in 1915, and all its plant and machinery had all gone by 1919. The corporation bought the land and used the marl holes that they'd left behind, which were the 3 large deep ones, used them for municipal tips until they finally filled them in the 1950s. We've got Bailey Street ahead. Bailey Street again is just one of those roads that was created in the 1930s, and you can see the properties reflect the dates. And another new road here, Change Road. Not sure when this came about, but they're all very new houses along here, and you've got the Livingwell Road at the bottom there that's still skirting the sides of the brickworks, as you can see. Just pan you around from where I've just come from, bottom of Claypit Lane down there. A lot of the houses to my right look like, just ahead of me to the right, look like 1930s, 40s properties. And a lot of those do appear to have been demolished over time and replaced with some rather newer type builds. And it's all new this side of the road. As I said earlier, we've got all terrace properties down this side, but look, you can see now they're all new builds now, flats. I'll just show you those newish type apartments they got there. They always look worse when they've always got these for sale signs outside, and that doesn't look too bad. There's only one there, but many a time when you walk past some of these blocks, there's about half a dozen signs littered outside the apartments, making them look a bit of an eyesore. Just here we've got Turner Street. And somebody's placed a nice little chair here for you to take a rest as you walk this Claypit Lane. Yeah, this is Turner Street, and Turner Street, before all these houses were built, would have row upon row of allotment gardens all along there that would back onto Hardwood Street, which is right down the bottom there of this road. But we've got some signs outside here saying it's the YMCA, Grits Green Day Nursery, and also a West Bromwich family hub. You really have to go on the websites these days to find out what these family hubs actually do. You've got an angel of sorts on top of the porch. It's a bit of a busy road, Claypit Lane, as it goes from Dudley Street down to Brandon Way, Kelvin Way, from where I've just come from. A lot of this now 20-mile-an-hour zones. Rarely do you see any cars doing 20 mile an hour, mind you. Now we have, am I right in thinking this is Coppice Street? We've passed Hilton Street, Young Street and Bailey Street. There was all huge housing projects undertaken in the 30s to build on all the old coal shafts that were there. This is one of the older streets. I'm not sure if we can see any of the properties up there that denote that this is one of the old streets. When I say that, it wasn't created in the 30s. It was here at the turn of the 20th century at the very least. I'm probably older than that. Don't know what was here. This looks like a fairly big piece of land. Yeah, you can just see ahead of me, just on the corner there. There is a couple of terraced properties there. So those were some of the old original houses that were built here, turn of the 20th century. Yeah, this is Riders Green School. Riders Green Primary School. Yeah, just noticed here there's some original terraced housing that was at the top end here of Claypit Lane. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 old terrace properties. And you often wonder how come they never got demolished, but these end two here have been kind of pebble dashed, and there's the original brickwork of these two. Yeah, it's nice to see that there are still original houses left on Claypit Lane at the turn of the century. And we've got plenty of 1920s builds, 1920s, 1930s here. But these terraced houses would have carried on right to the very end of this road, but of course now that's all gone. There's an industry here. I'm not sure what this place did. Yeah, this industry there ahead of me now is all shuttered. I dare say, if anything, they'll be turned into factory units eventually. This is the George Salter Academy. Let's have a quick walk down here. George Salter's was built in 1932. Built big enough now to house around 1,000 pupils. And if you look at this particular area here, you can see this is all the original parts of the building. They all look like, this all looks like 1930s. You can see there's a car park here, and I'll just film the top, the coat of arms above the door. Just there. A lot of these older schools have either been demolished, or some of the old parts of the school have been taken down and rebuilt, bring them up to what they'd say modern day standards. Yeah, it's called Vamos now, Vamos unit. Up there, that some of the factory is being used. Quite a big place actually. I'd like to know what he originally did. This big white building here on the corner. Right, we're nearing the end of our journey along Claypit Lane, the road to George Salter School. The road that had many mine shafts and a huge brick making company that just laid back from the lane itself. Here was the entrance to Croft Street. That was a road right up until about the 1920s, but now you see it is no longer. I'll just show you back down where we've just come from. Okay, Dudley Road is ahead of us, so that's quite a busy road. And we've got George Salter School to my left. Yeah, you can see up there, if you go up there now, you get to Carter's Green. We've reached our destination. We've got George Salter School ahead of me. There's one of the main gates there to enter the school. And yeah, there we are. It says Salter 6th. So part of the school is now 6th form. It's an academy. That means it's state funded, but the council has no say in its curriculum, its timetables, finishing times, term dates. They set all that themselves. Okay then folks, so that's the end of our little walk along Claypit Lane. It's not a very particularly long road, but it was an important road in so much as that it gave enormous prosperity to the town of West Bromwich in the mid-1800s with its many coal shafts and its coal mining operations and its brick making businesses along and around Claypit Lane. It's amazing now when you walk along Claypit Lane, you would never guess in a million years now what a grimy, squalid in some parts the road once was, and all the furnaces that would light up the sky for the making of the bricks. But nevertheless, it's a bit more civilized along there now. So if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for future videos, and I will see you on the next one.